Good evening and welcome, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We'd like to begin with item 2, invocation and pledges of allegiance.
Yes, we have Mr. Roger Campos who's going to lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Sir. As we gather here today as members of Southwest ISD, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and our community. Keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. May we be challenged to give our best always, and may we be assured of your presence with us. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Roger.
Sir.
Okay, now we'd like to make some adjustments to the agenda. Item 3 will become item 6. Item 4 will become item 7. Item 5 will become item 3. Item 6 will become item 4. And item 7 will become item 5.
I move on all changes.
Hold on. Please, thank you. And item 10C will be crossed out. It is not needed. Okay, now.
I move on all the changes, sir.
We have a motion. There's a second. Everyone okay? Please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, now we have an amended agenda. Item 3 will be consider approval of canvas returns and declare the winners of the May 7th, 2022 school trustee election. Brendan?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So on May 7th, 2022, we held our Southwest ISD board election to fill 2 seats. We had 4 candidates, and tonight I'm here to ask the board and recommend that the board approve the canvass of the 22 school board election results and declare Sylvester Vasquez Jr. and Ida Sadolkin as the winners. At the same time, we have to approve it by the precinct. So if you see in your board book, you see each precinct's in there, and that's required by law. And so recommendation is once again to approve the canvass of the 22 school board election results and declare Sylvester Vasquez Jr. and Ida Sadolkin as the winners.
Do we have a motion, board?
I move.
We have a motion and a second that we approve the canvas returns and declare the winners of the May 7th, 2022 school trustee election as myself and Ida Sadolkin. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 4, administer oath of office to newly elected trustees.
Yes, so we have our notary public coming forward who will do the oath for our new officers. Ms. Mona, we are board members.
By the power vested in me as a notary public servant for the great state of Texas, I hereby administer the oath to the newly elected Southwest ISD Board of Trustees. Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully execute the duties of the office of trustee for the Southwest Independent School District for the state of Texas, and will to the best of your ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state? And do you furthermore solemnly swear that you have not directly nor indirectly paid, offered, or promised to pay, contributed, nor promised to contribute any money or valuable thing, or promised any public office or employment as a reward for the giving or withholding a vote at the election of which you were elected, so help you God?
I do. Thank you, Monica. Okay, election of board officers to serve May 2022 through May 2023. At this time, I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Versta, for the office of president.
Yes, sir. 9th and temporary office of president. So we'll get this over real quick. So now I'm going to open up the floor for board members for nominations for the office of board president. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Sylvester Vasquez for board president.
I have one nomination of Sylvester Vasquez to continue in capacity for president. Are there any other nominations at this point? Do I have a second to the first nomination?
I second.
We have a second?
Yes.
We have a second for Ms. Brunel on the nomination as Sylvester Vasquez for the board president position. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. So it's my honor to turn the meeting back over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Okay. Now we will open the floor for nominations of vice president.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Ida Sedagwick for vice president.
I second.
Are there any other nominations? If there are no other nominations, we have a motion, a second, for the office of vice president of Ida Sedagwick. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Congratulations, Ida. I now open the floor for nominations of secretary.
I nominate Florinda Burnell to be secretary.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor of Florinda Bernal being secretary, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Florinda. And now I open the floor for nominations of assistant secretary.
I nominate James Sullivan Jr. for assistant secretary.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for assistant secretary for Mr. James Sullivan. Is there another nomination?
I nominate Daniel Carrillo.
There's a motion for Daniel Carrillo. Is there a second? Hearing none?
Second.
Okay. Mr. James Sullivan, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Mr. Daniel Carrillo, do you accept the nomination?
Not at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? We have a motion and a second for James Sullivan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Mr. James Sullivan, and thank you, Mr. Daniel Carrillo. I'll clap for them. Okay, we're done with that. And thank you all for being lucky enough to experience that. It only happens once a year. But now let's get to the good stuff. Recognitions and the Southwest ISD graduation report.
Yes, sir. We have some really incredible student recognitions we're going to do this evening. And I know we're going to hear from our high schools as well for graduation, commencement ceremonies that are coming up. And we get to meet our Val and Sal from our three respective high schools. So at this point, I will turn it over to Ms. Jenny Collier, who's going to start our recognitions this evening.
Good evening, everyone. First up, we're going to recognize our Students of the Month. Could we have Sun Valley's Hector Horta please come up? Sun Valley Elementary would like to recognize Hector Horta as the Students of the Month. Hector is an A honor roll student and has achieved mastery on both his star reading and math assessments. In all that he does, Hector displays the characteristics of perseverance and integrity. Hector is a member of the Sun Valley Chess Club and recently placed second in the SWISD chess tournament and helped the team place third overall. Hector is actively involved in sports. He plays football, basketball, and baseball. In the future, Hector would like to become a doctor to help others. Congratulations. Next up is Devin Champagne. Scobie Middle School would like to recognize Devin Champagne, an exceptional 8th grade student who models dedication and hard work in every aspect of her schooling. She is referred to by her teachers as a one-of-a-kind student who is always ready to learn, help, and lead her peers. Devin continues to excel in her honors courses and scored at the mastery level in her state assessments. Not only is Devin a joy to have in class and thirsty for knowledge, but she's also very busy outside her school day. Devin's mother states that Devin inspires her daily to be the best version of herself. She has a kind and genuine spirit and gives each task she takes focus, intention, and dedication. She has the blessing of being tireless and always strives for the best outcome, even when things can seem daunting. Congratulations. And now we're going to take a group picture.
Small group. Ready, good smile. 1, 2, 3. And we'd also like to ask, these are our students of the month, and you guys hang around, you'll see our vowels and vowels. These are vowels and vowels. But our parents and family members of these two critical students, Hector and Devin. Hector and Devin, as a director, would you please stand? Family members who are here representing you, please. So we're very proud of you to be selected as student of the month on your campuses, on hundreds of students. Should be a big deal. Make sure your mom and dad take you out to eat tonight. You did a really great, oh, look at like. So we just want you to know we're very proud of you. Great job. And, we couldn't be any more prouder than recognizing you guys tonight. Thank you so much.
And now we will recognize the salutatorians and valedictorians from all 3 high schools. First up is Southwest High School, Saraí Fernandez. The second-ranking graduate for Southwest High School, class of 2022, is Saraí Fernandez. Throughout high school, Saraí has participated in varsity soccer, where she's been captain for 3 years, varsity cross-country, senior class vice president, junior class vice president, sophomore class treasurer, Spanish Honor Society, National Honor Society, Alternative Energy Club treasurer, and vice president of Cafe College Club. She has earned numerous awards and recognitions, such as AP Scholar in World History and Human Geography, San Antonio College President's List 3 times for the Alamo Academies, Academic All-District, First Team Academic All-State, All-District Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time All-District MVP, and 2-time 5A All-Area Super Team, and Tasco First Team All-Region. Saraí will attend St. Mary's University and will pursue a Bachelor of Arts in Exercise and Sports Science. After graduating college, she plans to continue her studies and will apply to a physician assistance program. Congratulations. The first-ranking graduate of the Southwest High School class of 2022 is Camilla Rojas. Camilla attended Elm Creek Elementary and McNair Middle School. During high school, Camilla served as parliamentarian for the Sociedad Honoraria Hispanica, a member of the National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, and the Chemistry Honor Society. She is the captain of the veterinarian judging team with FFA. She is the president of the Alternative Energy Coalition and served as the class secretary during her sophomore year and class president during junior year. Camilla is an AP scholar and has received A honor roll status throughout her high school years. She's received many awards as part of the Vet Tech team, including first place with her team in the area vet contest and first place individually at the Hill Country Spring contest. Camilla plans to attend Texas A&M College Station in the fall and pursue a degree in zoology and become a veterinarian. Congratulations. The salutatorian for Southwest Legacy High School is Gisette Tellez. Please come up. Gisette attended Meadow Creek Elementary and Resnick Middle School. She has been a member of Southwest Legacy Titan Band and served as captain in the band and is now the head drum major for the Titan Band. She is also a class officer and serves as treasurer for the class of 2022. She volunteers her time for the Best Buddies Club, which serves special education youth at Legacy. Gisette is vice president of the Best Buddies Club. She has won numerous awards, including the Best Secondary Instrumentalist Award for learning a variety of instruments. She also earned an Outstanding Leadership Award for taking on leadership roles in the band. Throughout her high school years, she earned superior ratings in UIL band contests as an individual musician and as a member of different ensembles. Gisette has been awarded numerous scholarships. She's been awarded a full tuition scholarship from Texas A&M San Antonio. She will attend that college where she plans to study and travel abroad with the A&M San Antonio Honors Program. Gisette plans on earning a master's degree in criminology and plans to study to become a forensic psychologist. Congratulations. The Southwest Legacy High School valedictorian is Yulissa Carrillo. Will you please come forward? Yulissa attended Sky Harbor Elementary and McAuliffe Middle School. Over the years, Yulissa has been involved in the Texas Association of Future Educators for 3 years, served as secretary her sophomore year, and holds the president position for her chapter in Area 2 in a larger section of the organization. She is an active member of the National Honor Society. She is also a member of the Student Council and Family Career and Community Leaders of America. Yulissa has received awards from TAFE for State Portfolio Contest, Interactive Bulletin Board, and State Lesson and Delivery in STEM. She has received scholarships to A&M San Antonio, Our Lady of the Lake University, University of the Incarnate Word, and the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. She will attend A&M San Antonio University, where she plans to major in education and become an elementary teacher. She then wants to pursue her master's in counseling at Our Lady of the Lake University. Her goal is to become an educator and influence the life of every student who steps foot into her classroom the way so many of her teachers in Southwest ISD did for her. Congratulations. The CAS STEM class of 2022 valedictorian is Ms. Karina Ramos Jaime. In addition to her high school diploma, Karina will earn her Associates of Science degree. She does this with a perfect college GPA of 4.0. Karina attended John W. Arndt Elementary School and United Independent School District and Resnick Middle School. Karina recognizes that her experience at CAS STEM and the expectation of cooperative work developed her as a person and peer mentor. Karina will enter the University of Texas at San Antonio as a Presidential Distinguished Scholar, majoring in public health. Her financial need has been met through several scholarships, including the Baumberger Foundation Scholarship. Karina desires to attend medical school to become a therapeutic psychiatrist. She wishes to champion adult mental health, pharmaceutical advancements, and bilingual family medicine. Congratulations. We are going to go ahead and recognize the CAS STEM High School valedictorian, Mary Nash. She's not here, but I'm going to read a few things about her. The top-breaking graduate is Mary Nash. She attended multiple elementary schools after immigrating to the United States from a refugee camp in Thailand. She later moved to Southwest ISD and attended Resnick Middle School. Mary Nash has been accepted into the Engineering Honors Program at the University of Texas San Antonio. After much thought, she's decided to major in civil engineering and wishes to someday return to Kaya, the home of her ancestors, to help rebuild and develop an adequate water system. Mary will enter UTSA without the burden of financial need, having earned the elusive free ride. She has been named a Baumberger Scholar, a recipient of the Whataburger Foundation Scholarship, a UTSA Honor Scholar, and a host of other merit-based awards. Again, she's not here tonight because she's at a banquet accepting the ACE Mentor Scholarship. She finishes CAS STEM having earned an associate's degree of science from Palo Alto College and maintains a perfect grade point average. Congratulations to all of you. There we go.
Ready, and nice smiles, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold on 1 second. Picture if you can.
Girls.
So I just want to address the elephant in the room. Recognize we're all females, right? And I just want to say we are extremely proud of your tenacity, your perseverance, just sticking with it. Because you've been through a couple of rough years, and you guys kept academics at the top of your game. So congratulations. We all look forward to listening to your Val and Sal speeches at commencement. I know your families have to just be beaming inside because of what you've been able to achieve during your years here at school. I'd also like to ask our families who are here with these 5 amazing young ladies, would you please stand up and let us recognize you? And I'm sure, and I forgot earlier, high school principals, would you please stand? In your systems that achieve such great students who are going to go off and do phenomenal things in life. So congratulations. We look forward to commencement on June 3rd. And listen to you guys tell us about what your future endeavors are. So this is the exciting part. Our two students of the month, principals, I think it was Sun Valley and
Scobie.
Mr. Cruz.
We also have some student artists to recognize tonight. I think we have some artwork coming in.
Check this out.
Wow, that's nice.
It's made with pin.
Southwest Legacy students created a portrait of the late board trustee, Mr. Mike Frazier, during the spring semester. The portrait was initially a project created to celebrate Big Art Day, and students continued to work on it for another 2 months. The portrait is entirely created by approximately 18,000 push pins. The students have been commissioned to create a portrait of Mac UMac as well. The students who were greatly involved in this process are Caitlin Cruz, Mauricio Delgado, Mauricio Diaz, Roy Huron, Jocelyn Lozano, Joseph Lubro, Adrian Martinez, Javier Mata, Miguel Moreno, Madeline Flores, Charisma Garza, and Rachel Ibarra. Their teachers, their art teachers, we'd also like to recognize Miss Annabelle Toribio and Miss Celeste Montoya, and I believe I'm missing one other person named, or you one of the students? Rachel. Okay, so please come up. Thank you all so much.
I think we're all amazed that students could take a big old pile of push pins and create art with it. And I think this is one example of all the art, and Richard probably knows a lot better than I do. But we got a picture from Mr. Black, and they had an art expo. This was one of the pieces. Then we found out it was made out of push pins, which we wanted to see in person. And we're like, that's incredible work. I don't know how many hours it took.
It took close to 2.5 months.
Okay. It took a long time. I don't know, it just looks so incredibly well done.
You can see how clear it is up there.
Congratulations to all. We have really creative and talented students in Southwest ISD. This is one example of their work. Yeah, do you want to tell us about the portrait, Mr. Rice? Go ahead. You don't have to.
This is a portrait of Manuel Valles. So students in class, we discuss community art and leaders in our community and how we can create art to exemplify some of the people here and to portray the people that are part of the community. And so this is one of the portraits that we offer.
So do we have any family members for our art students here? Yeah, we were just so impressed. We wanted to bring it and let the board see it because there's a lot of talent through all of our students and our teachers lead that and bring it out.
You'll cover it.
And we have one more recognition, a community recognition, and for that I will hand it over to Dr. Samantha Ruiz.
Still getting used to that one. I'd like to invite Mr. Alex Gonzalez to please step up from Chuma's Mexican Restaurant. So Chuma's Mexican Restaurant has been in the SWISD community for almost 20 years. Carlos and Maria Gonzalez took over the business and quickly became part of the community. As time has gone on, Alex and Carlos Jr. have taken over Chuma's, both SWHS alums, and have continued the tradition of working with SWISD. During the pandemic, Chuma's Mexican Restaurant approached our Community Relations Department to see how they might be able to partner with us. They understand that they are a part of this community and they want a chance to give back. Many of the employees at Chuma's attended or graduated from SWISD, so giving back to the district during this time was a priority for them. Chuma's decided to start a Taco Tuesday program where a portion of their proceeds would assist our SOS department. This program ran from September to May. During that time, the restaurant raised $1,000 to give back to SWISD. We'd like to take this moment to allow them to present the check to our SOS department and recognize them for being a valued member of our community.
One, two, three. What you know, he was an amazing soccer player. So I do believe that concludes our recognition, Mr. President. I'll turn it back over to you and thank all of you for being here and being part of it.
Yes, we're not doing the federal.
Congratulations to all of our students. Graduation.
Graduation report.
Yes, that'll be the last one coming up, will be a recognition. I think we'd just like to take, since we have folks here, we can get our principals up and give our board some information on our pending commencement on June the 3rd. And I believe in your board packet, I think there's information that was included.
Good evening, Dr. Verstup, board members, board president. We are very excited we're counting down to graduation day for both Southwest Legacy, Southwest High School, and especially for Castem High School. This is our first graduating class. So we have a few documents we would like to highlight to give information to our families and to our students.
Good afternoon. So at Legacy, before I go into the participation contract, we're going to talk a little bit about graduation numbers this evening. We started off the school year with about 425, give or take, seniors in this cohort. And it has been a tough year for these students because they were already behind the power curve because of COVID. So at semester, there was about 200 that were ready to graduate at semester time, about half. Since semester, we have pushed, prodded, got them back to school, got them back squared away credits. We are at about 390, so we're about 25 to 30 that are still working on attendance recovery, credits, ingenuity, different kinds of things. So we should, by the time we hit graduation, be right at a cohort at about 415. We're pushing them and prodding them and pulling teeth and all the good stuff that we've got to do. So in your packet, the first thing that you have there is the participation contract. And basically what we've done with our participation contract, all three of the principals got together along with some district leaders on what we could do to make our graduation the memorable moment for all of our students that it should be. So in coming up with how we could cause the least amount of distractions, because it is a once-in-a-lifetime moment for each student that crosses the stage. And so whether the student behind them or in front of them or whatever causes a distraction, we did not want it to take away from the next student that's in line. That's the crucial point, because it's the one time they get to be recognized up on stage. So we decided to come through with a contract that we could try to meet some of the needs and the requirements that we felt are most important for our students as they're graduating. And all three of our campuses are in line with exactly what you have right there in front of you. And it starts with the first paragraph there, which basically states why we're putting together this contract. We're one of the only districts around that puts together this contract because we feel like it's that important that our students take that moment and we recognize that moment of something they've been through for their entire 13 years, 14 years of school, depending upon where they're at. So the first one is the dress code, and basically everybody needs to be in a cap and gown brought by the district. The second thing is that the cap decorations and the guidelines for cap decorations. We've had several questions because we want them to be able to support their individuality and be able to be proud of whether it's a family member or a culture or whatever it is they want to do. And we feel like the top of their cap would be the appropriate place for them to display whatever it is that they deem important to them in their moment of greatness up on the stage. So there's some do's and don'ts as far as the cap goes, as far as the decorations, and they're not going to be any kind of a 3D decoration. It's all basically a flat type decoration. It could have a picture of a family member, the school that they're going to attend, their career, their military ambition, a memorable moment that they're feeling important about as far as our high school career goes. And then some behavior expectations about what to do during the practices, during the different things will be during leading to that, and what would happen, what would possibly some consequences. This whole version will both be in English and in Spanish. We're in the process of making sure it gets translated and squared away. And then there's a place in there for the students to sign and the parents to sign as well. So that's pretty much the contract as far as our expectations go as far as our district. And the main thing, again, is not to squelch anything, but to make sure it's about the moment for each person and give them all the opportunity that they so deserve. Any questions on the contract piece?
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. So Southwest High School class of 2022 right now is sitting at 472 students. Very proud of our class this year. I am going over what our commencement program format looks like. So these are very standardized. Our graduation teams have worked on these. So the standard format should be pretty much the same across the board for each of our high schools. You'll see the first part is just the order of events, and that'll be the first page right there. Then it goes into recognition. So you've got your Board of Trustees, District Administration, High School Administration. All of those recognitions will go into the program. Director of Graduation and Assistants, and then our senior class officers, high school staff, counseling staff, including members that assist with college readiness. And then our top 10 graduates are listed. And then you'll have all the cord listings in there. So any cord recognition is going to be in the program. So that'll take up the majority of the remainder of this. And there's several pages of cord recognitions. I think Zelane's going to go over those for you guys and what those mean. We're almost there. Almost there. And then the candidates for graduation will be listed as well in alphabetical order. And then this is just and then teacher honor line, the ROTC color guard that helps present the colors that evening. And those that'll help with the oration of graduation are going to be included as well. And then we will recognize Teacher of the Year for each campus for our feeder pattern and their principal. So that will be what goes into the program, and then we'll also have what we call the scholarship supplement that goes in there. That'll be printed usually in about a week, and then we insert that as well. And scholarship recognitions go in there. So do y'all have any questions about that? All right.
Thank you.
The next document you see is actually all our cords combined from all three high schools, which is our Southwest ISD academic cord and also our STOLs that will be included at commencement. And so you have our academic cords and then also our national organizations to include those that have competed and also have advanced. One thing I really want to recognize and emphasize is that this document was created by our graduation coordinators. It was a group effort by graduation coordinators. We had team members from CNI. Our principals and Dr. Verstev put this document together to make sure that we had a comprehensive list of what our graduates will be wearing for graduation day.
That's going from school to school, all the same, right? Okay.
We do have some that are unique just because of the programs of study that is unique to each high school, but they are all combined into one document.
We have one district court template, but we have individual samples.
Use.
parts.
Yeah, because CAST will have certain ones that
Thank you.
Good evening. I am representing Castem High School as their very proud principal with our first graduating class of 2022. We have 88 students in the class, 18 of which will graduate with an associate's degree, 27 of which will have a level 1 certificate before they graduate from high school. So we're very, very proud of the class of 2022. They've endured quite a bit. I'm super proud. So I am reviewing the frequently asked questions. And essentially, I approached this as the rookie on the team, thanks to my teammates who helped me along the way. And as the rookie, I could ask all the questions because I'd never experienced a Southwest graduation. So part of this is about working with the graduation coordinators to define what time, where, when, how, and why. But then also some of the things that our families were asking about what they needed to know about graduation. So what time does my student need to be there? What time can I anticipate them practicing, preparing, going through commencement? And then getting back to campus or being allowed to be released with families at the end of commencement. So all of that is laid out by campus on the frequently asked questions. And then there are other questions that frequently come up that we just wanted to make sure we had a guiding document in English and Spanish. So things like decorating the cap, which we heard Mr. Black talk about in the participation contract. So there are references in the FAQs to the contract just to make sure that we are able to answer those questions consistently. And fairly to all families. So questions like, when do I get my diploma, the real thing? And so it gives you the information about how that happens, when that happens. And then the allowances by the Alamo Dome. So the Alamo Dome has specific requirements based on what you can bring in, what you can have, what you can display, and what you can't display. And so we wanted to make sure we shared with families that they were aware of all of those expectations by the Alamo Dome, and then the expectations for us as a Southwest ISD community as well. Any questions on the frequently asked questions? Thank you. We're really excited about our first graduating class.
Thank you.
How many, maybe a question to, how many people are crossing the stage this week, this Friday, from Southwest, Legacy, and CAST?
The Palo Alto
The
one?
Palo Alto one?
The Palo Alto commencement, how many students do we have participating in PAC?
So for us, it is
We have 50,
I think 42 are total.
but percent-wise.
And,
Either with a level 1 or with an associate's degree.
and that's for CAST. And then Southwest, I know you have, that's the list right there, right? All that.
Yes, we don't have any
With who?
crossing stage.
And we don't have.
We do potentially have some in the summer.
Any other questions?
I'm going to commend them too, that the FAQs, that is a new addendum this year. That we're trying to be more proactive and getting as much information out as we possibly can. So I just want to commend the principals and Ms. Aragon and CNI. They did a lot of work to make sure we can kind of clear up our commencement expectations, but also provide that FAQ out for our families to try to answer as many questions. If we get other questions we may not have considered, we'll definitely add to it and keep it posted for our families to have access to that.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to give us a couple-minute break. I know you guys really want to stay with us for the next couple hours, but I'll give you a chance to get up and leave if you'd like. Okay, so we're on break. We're going to get back in order and go to the consent agenda. Board members, you've had that before you. Any questions? Any item you wish to pull?
Sir, I need to add something to this. I need to talk about the budget amendment.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
The budget amendment,
Yeah. On budget amendment 8,
8.
there's 3 things on there. One of them is the revenue that we received from the child nutrition budget department. It was extra revenue from the federal government. So they actually we had to increase our revenue, so they gave us an additional $277,000. Tonight, you're gonna see we bid out a project, Sun Valley project. Back when we did a preliminary, we asked the board for $450,000 budget for the capital projects. When we bid it out, it came out a lot higher than that, so we're asking for the board for the difference, so that we can still move forward with that project. And then transportation department right now, due to what's going on, and pricing on fuel, pricing on parts, service, their budget needs some help, so I'm asking the board to approve an additional $200,000 to add to the transportation budget to get us to the summer. So there's two items on there that are big fund balance items, and then the other one is revenue that child nutrition gets. Doesn't help the general revenue fund, but it does help the child nutrition department.
So what ended up being the difference? I'm sorry.
So it's an additional $430,000. So it's almost $800,000. We have 2 bids and the other one's higher. So you're gonna see tonight. It's actually on the agenda to talk about.
So what we thought we were gonna pay actually.
Well, we use preliminary numbers that we've been holding on to for years because we haven't moved on it, but everything is
Yeah.
skyrocketed. I mean, they're gonna be moving trucks in and out, so it's from fuel to,
And the extra 200 will get us through the end of the budget year?
I've asked the
for
transportation department to project on, what they buy in the parks as far as summer, what fuel costs they'll get through summer, and then if we need any certain service items. So at $200,000, if we get into trouble and I need to come back, I will, but right
So
now,
we're looking at 600,000 right now?
Yes.
Between these 2 items?
Yeah.
What, is that gonna be under business and finance, or?
The budget amendment's actually in the consent agenda.
Oh.
The budget amendment is how we.
Are you
change
talking
the-
about the board amendment?
Yeah, I'm talking
Item
about
C?
the board amendment, but I'm
Okay.
just telling you what's in the board amendment.
Okay.
One of the items that is the funding piece is actually coming up under my agenda, like the Sun Valley project.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that in a
Yes.
minute. Okay.
Okay, we now have a consent agenda with a clarification on item C.
I move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, item 9, items of information, construction update.
Yes, sir, we got Mr. Morales going to give an update.
Lloyd, before we do that, sir, I just want to mention, we had no one sign up for public comment.
Oh, great. Okay. I got lost with all my scratching.
Item
Thank you.
3,
Yes.
4, I'm sorry. Original 4.
I'm glad no one was signed up, or else I'd have been mean to them. Okay. Mr. Barajas.
Yes, good afternoon. So here to present the construction update, we have Sean Bacon with Marlon Mott and James Nitschka with George General Contractors.
Well, good evening, and again, very happy to be in front of you folks again. As we move through the project, a bit of good news. May not seem like a long time, but in about 3 months, we should be giving you our final report. We're moving into the last quarter of this project, and the date of July 8th, I think, is our substantial completion. I will be pushing this man very hard to get the punch list completed, and you folks in there and swimming and doing all the public and school programming. So, and where's the mask? Oh, no mask. Okay. No worries. Some of the photos we have, today are a little older. They haven't been flying the drone because of wind. There's been a lot of wind, so I'm gonna scroll through. Let me back up a little. So, as I said, July 8th, substantial completion. That has changed. It was approved. We're moving forward. As you can see, no contract change. That's a blessing as well. We're very happy with that. So I think we provided the right contingencies and the right bids, and contractors managed very well to try to
hold the markets honest. That's, as you all know, that's been difficult for a lot of projects. So we'll move through this upcoming work. It's all interior. The building's probably 90% enclosed. Still putting on some of the translucent panels. It's about 50%. The wind is playing havoc. Garage doors will be going in pretty soon. Metal panel siding, the insulated metal panel siding is just about complete. So we're almost dried in. They have continued with all the other interior finishes. They're continuing with that. I'm not sure, when is the next, when's the opportunity that they're going to pay a visit? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't steal any thunder there. But I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised and seeing what doesn't appear to be a bit of a building finishing up because it takes so long once it appears dried in. Okay, so again, I said these are a little bit older aerial photographs, but I will try to push through those because I believe you may have seen these already. Whoops, I don't know what I just did.
Can I just update on what we're looking at right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I apologize for these, for the photos being a little outdated, but like Sean said, we're about 50% done with the translucent roof panels, which is that open area that you see there in the middle. We have all the material for the standing seam roof that goes on either side of that. We're prioritizing and focusing on that translucent roof. So as soon as we can finish that, get that building enclosed, then we'll move to finish up the metal roof panels. So a lot of site work's gone on since then. 90% of the curbs have been poured. We're preparing for asphalt, probably the first week of June. And so by the end of next week, you should see a lot of those containers, office trailers, equipment, whatever we've got on the exterior side of the building, we'll have all those moved off the site to prepare for landscaping and site work.
There's some, as you can see, a lot of the north side is already closed in, dried in. There's some interior shots. These are actually about a week and a half, 2 weeks old.
Right, so the liner's completely installed in the instructional pool, which is really cool to see.
It's striping and everything. The lane striping is already in.
Exactly, it's looking really good. A lot of tile works going on inside the building, or inside the locker room areas. As far as the exterior side, all that Sean's moving that cursor around, all that's closed. They're working on that front side right there as far as metal panels go. It's really come along since then. Every single week we've got just massive change. So on a week-to-week basis, it looks completely different.
Any questions?
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? Just to see you smile while you're talking about the construction is enough for me. Thank you.
Part of it, I'll be honest with you, part of it I kind of laugh just knowing that we've made so much progress since these photos have been taken. So I'm kind of laughing at myself there. But
Okay.
And then what he was referring to on June 7th, we'd like to invite all the board members. I know we've been talking throughout this year about doing some kind of tour of all our projects. So on June 7th, that's usually that's the next round bag, and we usually have a facility subcommittee meeting. We would like to maybe at 10 o'clock have all the board members join us.
Okay.
And we'll meet at transportation and start there. So we'll see transportation, you've got to see the new bus wash over there. It's great. It's awesome. And then we move there, when we move over to the natatorium, we get you all a tour of the natatorium. Because around that time, it should be pretty buttoned up, a lot of the stuff done. And then we'll travel around, go see Skokie, go see Southwest High School, and then come on back to the transportation department, serve lunch, and have a fourth round with you. So
that sounds good.
If that's okay with you.
So that way we can go see the projects that are all completed in the back of transportation here short. I also want to thank James. He spent so much time here. He just joined our Southwest Education Foundation community.
Awesome.
So thank you, James, for everything you do for all of our kids. That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
saw it when y'all came in today. They actually started laying the artificial turf on Southwest Elementary playground this morning. So hopefully by the end of the week, that one should be buttoned up. Moving to Sun Valley next, and then we'll keep progressing as we go through. So that will be ongoing all summer long.
Thank you.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Mr. Vasquez, the last thing on the natatorium site, the aquatic center site, we actually have an MOU with the city to do at the little spark park there. So we're gonna start talking to them again. They did donate 50,000. There is a kind of in-kind match of additional 25,000 to the project. So we kind of pushed them off because there's a lot of site work going on. We want to kind of close the natatorium, but we're gonna start having those meetings. And at the same time, we've asked Norman Mott to take a look at a practice facility for the golf team. So we'll be bringing you that information also.
Okay.
It's been part of those conversations, but the full board hasn't. So that'll be something maybe seen in the future on getting some kind of small practice facility for the golf team behind the site. Those are two things that could be coming.
Okay, you're still on monthly tax report.
Oh, 93%, sir. We're right on where we were last year.
Right. Anything you want to point out on the financial or investment?
Investment
Okay.
report, sir, the rates are changing, which is be good for us on the investment side, but not so much on the bond side.
Okay. Hopefully it balances out. Anyone have any questions on tax, financial, or investment for Brandon?
No.
Hearing none, report on gifts and bequests, district enrollment report, review of purchases over 50,000. Anyone have any questions, or Lord, do you have anything on that? No? Okay. Calendar of events. Is that in reference to the handout that was given to us, or is that?
There are 5 things on there.
There's only about 5 things going on every night.
Yes, yeah, the most updated one.
Okay.
Happening the next couple of weeks.
Plenty for us to attend. Alamo College's district presentation.
Yes, sir. We have Ms. Samantha Gallegos here, who works very diligently with our high schools and dual credit opportunities, advanced academics. And she's going to give the board a presentation from that partnership that we have at ATV. And a former Harlandale CNI person, so we like Ms. Gallegos a lot.
Welcome, Ms. Haynes.
So good evening, Board President Vasquez, board members, Superintendent Dr. Verstav, and the Southwest ISD community. I'm Samantha Gallegos, the Chief High School Programs for Alamo College's district. And on behalf of our Chancellor, Dr. Mike Flores, we are honored to be here tonight. Also joining me is Dr. Tammy Anderson, our Director of High School Programs. As you may be aware, Southwest ISD and Alamo Colleges, including Palo Alto College, San Antonio College, and St. Philip's College, have had a long-standing partnership in offering students the opportunities to earn college credit while still in high school. Tonight, we are here to share a few of the successes that our Southwest ISD students have experienced as a result of our partnership. During the 2020-2021 academic year, over 1,397 Southwest ISD students were served through our dual credit program that includes early college, high school, and Alamo academies, and just dual credit in general. The students are served by Palo Alto College, San Antonio College, and St. Philip's College. 719 students took courses in fall 2020, and 678 students took courses in spring 2021. While some of those students may be duplicated from fall to spring, Southwest ISD students had a 77.5 passing rate within their college courses. And I want to acknowledge that that is a higher passing rate than your traditional college students attending our 5 Alamo colleges. So kudos to faculty, staff, principals, along with the faculty and staff at all 3 Alamo colleges for the success of these students. So overall, Alamo colleges offered Southwest ISD students over 33 different college course offerings. And the senior class of 2021 earned, on average, 23.84 college credit hours. which is close to a full year of college while still enrolled in high school. Through our partnership, we are proud to say that over the last 4 years, Southwest ISD students have earned 7,035 credit hours, and students have saved an estimated $2,196,000 in tuition costs. We are honored to continue this partnership with Southwest ISD and excited about the upcoming 22-23 school year. On behalf of our Chancellor, Dr. Mike Flores, our President of Palo Alto, Dr. Robert Garza, our President of St. Philip's, Dr. Adina Loston, and our President of San Antonio College, Dr. Robert Vela, we thank you for your partnership and would like to present Southwest ISD with this certificate of appreciation, and we look forward to building continued success with Southwest ISD students. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Receive this, but it should be Dalila Garcia.
Go up there, Mama.
Those are 2021 numbers? 2020.
Okay. Thank you. Summer 2022 academic program and HB 4545 update.
Excuse me.
Good evening, Patty.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. President. We do have, and board members, we do have Dr. Escobedo with us. She has been the one leading this work, along with many other stakeholders, our principals, and also assistant principals in our school district. And so we have a robust summer program to offer, also with some extracurricular programs that we've also continued to serve our community with.
Good evening, Board President and members of the board. So I have a brief update to give you as we're getting ready to wind down the school year and start our summer program. You have a copy of our current presentation. We had one slight change based on some feedback to our elementary campuses. Our Southwest Elementary will be one of our hosting sites, as well as Creewell Road, Spicewood Park, and Indian Creek. I have the approximate numbers as we are getting the information back from the parents. As you will notice, most of the sites are at about 200 to 300. Our Southwest Elementary does have a few more because we have some of those other robust programs that Dalila was talking about. So we are going to be hosting some additional extracurricular programs at that site, and it is also centrally located. For our middle schools, we are remaining with Scobie Middle School, and we also have a college. And our 3 high school sites, we have our 2 comprehensive, as well as CalSTEM hosting their own. All the other information on the right is what I presented at the last presentation, so none of that has changed for you. Within the summertime in June and July, we will have Southwest Elementary hosting our special ed programs for the SY and camp, as well as our life skills at Southwest High School, and then Camp Penguin. Our teacher PD day is scheduled for Saturday, June the 4th. That will be an 8-hour day as opposed to other programs or other years where we've had 4- and 6-hour sessions. This will be an 8-hour session for our teachers. We have a listing there for the items of just the tentative agenda items that we have covered for that day. On this one, I have listed for you the extracurricular programs this summer. The first 4 are those that we have for our elementary students, followed by the remaining 4, which is for our secondary, for our middle and secondary. And that was very brief, as I said. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Patty. Thank you.
Creewell Road School of Fine Arts.
Yes, we have an update. We began this work back in early on, as Ms. Rosie Hidalgo has been a participant of the Trinity Leadership Program. And so tonight we have her also giving us an update of Creewell and some of the planning and some great initiatives that are happening even right now. Rosie?
Good evening, Board and Dr. Persef. Happy to report that we're still moving along with our design and our redesign of Creewell. We are moving first with our sending some staff members to the Not Your Average Conference in Oklahoma. On June 14th, Mr. Martin Serta will be representing me as I'm out of pocket due to some surgery that's coming up for me. So he's part of the design team, and I'm very confident that he will represent us well at that conference. My staff is also preparing for a June 20th through 24th professional development from Oklahoma 8+ Schools Institute as well, to incorporate some of the arts design into our school. And so we're moving forward with creating, being very creative in how we can continue to implement the program with the resources that are available from the district, and moving forward and just going to build it as we build it. So, any questions?
Yeah, Ms. Hidalgo, so can you, we were really excited about bringing on some creative arts professionals into the building. How has that been working out? How are you looking for people? What are you finding?
I'll be coordinating those efforts with Mr. Flores, and we'll be working to kind of look and see how that fits into our master schedule.
So how many positions did we end up approving?
We have not approved any new positions for Crewell Road, so we're trying to find some other creative ways to service the students with additional fine arts. We want this campus to look different in some ways, right? To offer them more fine arts opportunities than they would at a regular elementary school. And so we're trying to find some creative ways to get that.
So we're not going to actually bring any additional creative art professionals into the building?
Not professionals. We may be using either consultants or tutors or some other ways to kind of work through that.
But I thought that when we had started this journey that we were very committed to making sure that we could like get off on the right foot with this
We were applying to say,
academy.
We did go ahead and code STEAM Academy. We're still applying the basic school model, but just using positions differently within the campus, infusing some contracted services that can come in and spend some time with students. So we would love to give them 100 positions, right?
Well, no, but I mean, I thought we originally talked about a couple, right? Initially, that was the conversation?
Restructure a couple of FTEs that to use differently instead of having an example. I'm not saying we're doing this, but an example is that we have a STEM teacher there. Instead of being a STEM teacher, we turn it into a STEAM, where we kind of infuse STEM and arts and what that looks like is one option. Another option that we're doing is that we have a district-wide position for fine arts for the future, that would be housed there to kind of be oversight and support there predominantly at Crewell Road. We have some ESSER funds, FTEs that are still there that can be restructured differently within the fine arts. So the idea is that we want to create this fine arts kind of pathway, and we may have to come back in the future if we start learning from it.
I feels like we're like going like, we were really gung-ho about this, right? And my understanding was that we're gonna at least you wanna be able to tell the community that there's, maybe a couple of new positions that are doing things that nobody else is doing. I don't know, how do you achieve that when you take a STEM teacher and try to make them like a creative person, right?
It's a valid point, but we're trying to do these themes throughout the district. So at some point, we will not be able to do that. We'll have to stop because
right, but this is an academy, right? We're introducing it as like singular right now. We're not doing everybody. This is like kind of supposed to be the role model for others in moving in that direction. And I know we have ESSER funds, and I felt like we were really all excited and on board with this vision, but it feels like that vision has changed dramatically. And I feel kind of bad because I know that they've done a lot of training, a lot of preparation, a lot of hours have been put into this academy. And we need, we should deliver on at least a couple of positions, right? Like the way we did with the natatorium.
I hear your opinion.
Yes.
I don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah.
Because I think we can still accomplish what we can accomplish and still applying our basic model. We've been fiscally responsible all the way through.
Sure. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be.
Hidden Cove Elementary, when we changed it to an academy team too, they're able to embrace it, move some things around, create the environment we're looking for. I'm not saying we're never going to come to the board and say we need these. Yeah. I'm saying that we're coming out of a pandemic. ESSER funds are artificial financial cliff after next year. And so whatever we do with ESSER, we're going to have to take away at some point too. So we're trying to be extremely, I think, critical in our thinking if we do this. We even thought about just staving it off for a while, but what we hear from the principal, we can still make this happen, go this direction. Will it be the ultimate? No, it will not, you're right. But will it be a change and a step in the right direction? I do think so, I feel we can.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we committed to the natatorium, we knew we were gonna have like like we're putting $800,000 a year in new expenses for the natatorium. And it seems like a small ask for a new academy, right? And it doesn't feel like it's what we were like, it doesn't feel like what we talked about months ago. It feels like a lot less than.
Well, I get it. And we've had a lot of conversation around it. There's been a lot of tough conversations around it, I can promise you that.
Right.
But
we have money for a lot of other things.
Now taking a step in the right direction.
Right.
We think we can still take that step in the right direction. Use our funds differently, use contracted services differently, put our new position that's going to hit quarter out of there, so they always have that kind of fine art support. So, yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, I agree with you, but it's a step. We hope that step one leads to step two, leads to step three in the future.
I feel that we need to be cautious on how we deliver this, because one of the purposes was so that we could have an influx of those students that wanted to stay at charters, that we can show them that there's a lot that public school offers. So we need to be cautious of how we do it.
Especially when the charter is right across the street. It's going to be taking some of those kids away from us.
Well, with the idea that we're developing a fine arts elementary school is going to sell just in itself, that we're going to have a fine arts elementary. We may not have the funds to put new staff there, but I mean, I think Richard, I'm very excited that Rosie's in charge there because she has the fine arts background, the training that you're going to do, and then y'all can let us know. I mean, you let us know what else that you think we need to, help you be successful. We've always supported our staff. So if we're not, I mean, we have to trust our finance people and our leadership that this is the right move. It's not, I guess.
Well,
I'm not finished. So if once the academy starts and you feel like, you know what, we have to have this, then you just come to the staff and put your request in, and then they look at the money, and we, like Yolanda said, when it's necessary, we find the money to do what we have to do.
Well, unfortunately, I've already heard from some of the staff that have been really excited and kind of feel deflated they felt like we had committed and now we're like backtracking. And so I've already heard from a number of people from that campus that are really like deflated by by our lack of support at this point after we had rolled this out in a very kind of big, excited, kind of confetti kind of way. And now we're not even getting not even one position.
Well, technically, the new fine arts position is going to be housed there. So that's somebody that you can draw on, right? The elementary person.
But that person has how many elementaries?
We did leave more positions in the basic model indicated. So I think we have like two positions there beyond the basic.
There's a lot. There's going to be a lot more.
We didn't take them back. We left them there knowing that this is the direction we're going.
There's a lot to the formula and the kind of schools we have. We're all talking. It's going to get a little in depth. I don't want to do it in this meeting, but it's called comparability, and we're all Title I schools. And so the way the feds look at comparability is, you have a model, and you basically put that model in place in all the comparable schools. So since every one of our elementary is a Title I school, then you have to be comparable for all of them.
Sure.
So you can't just add extra staff at one campus, and they have more staff than another campus that has bigger needs as far as at-risk, equal risk, and pass comparability. So there's a lot to deal with it with the formula that is in place. And so there's a lot to this besides just, I'd be more than happy to say, hey, I'm going to throw three extra teachers here.
Right, but we all know that this academy is not, a creative person is a creative person, right? You can't interchange teachers that are, you've got teachers that are math teachers, science teachers, elementary teachers, but what we're trying to achieve in this campus is a creative thing, and it takes like a special kind of personality and background and skill set, and they're not as interchangeable as others. And I was, you know, I mean, you can sit there and tell someone, oh, you're not gonna do this, but that doesn't mean that person's gonna have the skill set to do it, right? So I'm just concerned about what we had thought we were gonna get and what's actually happening this year, and so I would like to have further conversation for sure.
What is the fine arts person that we're gonna house there? Is it the elementary?
Fine arts coordinator for elementary.
In how many elementaries is that person going to be visiting?
All of them.
All of them?
Even with contracted services, you're gonna get a person that specializes in whatever. Say it's orchestra or whatever you're gonna do there. I'm not even sure what the program ultimately looks like. But if you can contract with somebody to come in and do that for you, then you don't have that ongoing payroll issue of a staff. You don't have the benefits, you don't have all that kind of stuff. And you're getting somebody who that's their only thing. We can't be hiring a ballet teacher that isn't going to teach something else to do with academics, right? I mean, if we contract with a ballet teacher, that can be all that they're going to do, right? So you just have to be creative. We don't have unlimited funds. So if we can learn to be successful with what we're presented with, then good. If we can't be successful, that's another conversation.
Well,
that's when you have to come and say,
we always have the funds for some things. We always have funds for some things, and we can't find funds for other things. And to me, this should be a priority because it is an academy. It's about teaching and learning. That's why we're here. That's why we exist. And, you know, we do a lot of other things that are extra, but we should meet these needs first, right? So why did we talk about an academy if we weren't going to commit to actually, like, making it happen?
And, yeah.
I would use hidden code, that's it. You know, we did it with a hidden code without changing the basic law. And if we feel we can do it here. Will we need position in the future? I'm sure. Will we need facility enhancements? That we will. We are committed to this long term. So it's about getting started during a really rough financial time. And we think we can get it started. Into the excitement around it, the training. We're really leading into the training that's coming from A+. We know the staff's already been through training, got excited about it. But I don't recall in the previous presentations that we committed to X number of additional positions. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember that either. But
Yeah, and back in October, when we brought the first update, it was the excitement around the model that we saw in Arlington, where they did have 6 additional staff, and that was a model that we were following in conversation. And so now we are strategically, strategically identifying resources that the district has in order for us to launch our implementation year.
Well, I know at the time we had Esther coming in, and, you know, there was a lot of excitement about what we were going to be able to do with that extra funding. So that really still exists. And I know also we did a lot of positions for the natatorium. And this is only one position, you know. I know it's a big building, it's going to require a lot, but I mean, we committed to that, so we're doing that. And so I guess we can have further conversation at some other time. Yes, that would be great.
We'll take a look at that, Lloyd. And Lloyd, on behalf of myself, and I think the majority of this board, we support you. Mr. Flores, we support you. Mr. Hidalgo, we support you. And we know that you'll do what you could do with what you're handed, okay?
But be
and we
honest
know
in the
that you,
feedback,
please do not interrupt me, Ms. Yolanda Flores, okay?
Right.
And we know that you'll come to us with any needs, and we will look at those at that time. Brandon, Chris, we know that you work the budget well, and we know that there are certain things that we spend money on that can only be spent there, okay, and that we can't spend money on certain things. So we continue to believe in you and have faith in you and continue working our budget, okay? With that said, we thank you, and we'll move on to item L, District of Innovation, draft overview.
So at this time, I have Adrian Ramirez coming up, and he's going to give you some information about the draft of our District of Innovation plan. As you may remember, this was a plan that started about 2015. It came out from TEA. It provides districts the opportunity to have flexibility in some of the statutes that are required by law. So right now, we're going to cover the items that were in existence that we're going to continue with, and a new item that we would like to add. But if you at any time have any questions about what we're presenting, let us know. We know for some of you, this may be the first time you've seen this.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board President Vasquez, board members, Dr. Versta, senior leaders. The current District of Innovation Plan was approved for school years 2017, 2018 through 2021, 2022. Our district has begun the process for renewing our District of Innovation Plan. So what I'd like to do is share with you a little bit of information about the process itself and about the steps that are part of that process, but also share with you the exemptions that have been included in this latest draft of the District of Innovation Plan. As part of the process of the renewal of the plan, we are supposed to develop a committee that is to participate in the development of and in the planning of this particular plan. So our committee members right now consist of members from or individuals from divisions across our district. We have board members on the committee. We have individuals from our different divisions, our different departments. We have campus administrators who are part of this committee, teachers, and we also have parents who are also able to provide feedback and input as it pertains to elementary campuses, middle school campuses, and high school campuses. So we also have a community representative as well who's also part of our committee. So in addition, another part of this process also involves us actually meeting certain requirements and actually following certain steps as part of the process. So we developed a timeline also just to kind of keep track of what events need to take place. And so we have presented some information to senior staff, and we've also come together as a committee to engage in some planning and some work for the renewal. And we also have, coming up, we also have presentations as part of a public meeting, and then an open parent meeting also. And the process hopefully will culminate with notifying TEA of board approval of a new District of Innovation Plan. So still some steps that we are going to need to carry out and complete. So what are the items that are in the most recent draft that were in the previous plan? I want to talk a little bit about those first. The first exemption that we have included in the new plan is the school calendar change. And what this exemption does is it actually provides the district some flexibility to determine the start date for our district. And by doing this, our district is given some flexibility with regard to balancing semester days and also aligning high school classes to college classes as they, and I know that has a lot to do with our students who are actually enrolled in our dual credit classes. So it will also help us address concerns regarding transitions and then also facilitate alignment between our district and other districts that are also districts of innovation. So that's the rationale. And I'm going to go ahead and summarize kind of some key points about the rationale as I talk about the exemption. So another exemption that has been included in this new plan is has to do with probationary contracts. And so what we're seeking to do here is to, again, create some flexibility where we're able to issue probationary contracts for new teachers that are longer than 1 year. We're talking about 3-year probationary contracts for teachers who are new to teaching and new to our district. We're also looking at issuing 2-year probationary contracts. And I think what's important to keep in mind here is that our model is a growth model. It's a growth and support model. So what we want to do is we want to actually, by extending those probationary contracts, we want to actually create some time to be able to collect data and to also put a plan in place that's going to support teachers new to our district and provide whatever, again, support that they're needing to grow. Because, like I said, our model is a growth model. So, again, this exemption does that. The next exemption addresses campus behavior coordinators. And we are seeking this exemption because we are actually promoting a more collaborative and team-like approach to dealing with student behaviors on our campuses. When you consider the number of students that we have at some of our campuses, to have one person that is responsible for addressing student behaviors, to have one person responsible for addressing those and putting plans for support in place for students, we basically have determined that, that requires more of a collaborative and team-like approach so that we're better able to implement more of a restorative type approach to supporting students. And so that exemption, again, will give us the flexibility to do that on our campuses.
So the statute basically says you name one, and we're trying to name more than one.
The class size waiver, I know state law requires us to actually keep a ratio of 22:1 in our kinder through 4th grade classes. And so this particular waiver would allow us to cap that ratio at 23:1. And there's several reasons why we're actually seeking this exemption. One is because if sticking to the 22:1 ratio, what we have found is whenever we've initiated a waiver and we've submitted a waiver, what we have found is that that particular class size, during the time that that waiver is pending approval or we're working on submitting, what we have found is that that class size goes back down to 22:1 anyway. So the cap of 23:1, again, provides us some leeway and some flexibility to be able to keep students on a particular campus without having to submit a waiver. So, and we would look at capping that ratio at 23:1 before submitting a waiver. So, and before notifying parents also. Teacher certification. This is also something that we've carried over from our current plan. When we're talking about teacher certification, we're talking about the understanding that we know that teachers must meet certain requirements in order to actually be certified. We have to consider certified candidates for teaching positions. And what this exemption does is it allows us to create minimum requirements more locally to ensure that we've got qualified people for certain positions. And when we talk about these positions, we're talking about our dual credit positions, our CTE positions. That's really kind of what we're looking at. And there's also some additional consideration at this time for the planning that's taking place regarding the fine arts focused elementary in our district. So what we're talking about doing here is, again, developing minimum requirements for positions that may be a little bit harder to fill and really considering maybe real world experience that some candidates might have. And we're talking people who have advanced degrees and they're very, so they're able to teach certain subject areas, but they may not have the teacher certification that is required. So this exemption helps us address that issue in our district. So, Uniform Group Coverage Program. This was actually an amendment that was actually added to our current plan. I think this amendment was added last year, the year before, and what this did was it gave us some flexibility to actually procure group health benefits plan or program that better met the needs of our employees in our district. And so we've included that as an exemption in this new draft and this new plan. And what we're hoping that this will do as well is it'll help us address, or it'll help us with recruitment and retention of, highly effective employees. And so another thing that this does is it also gives us the opportunity to develop health and wellness programs that may be beneficial to our employees also. So there's some flexibility that's tied to this in addition to being able to procure plans that offer maybe better coverage and more affordable coverage.
Because we pulled out a TRS, based on this, we had the TRS plan and the Humana plan. We pulled out a TRS. We don't need this right now, but if we don't put it in, we have to have an amendment anytime we want to add it. So we went ahead and left it in case we need it within the 5-year span of this DOI plan.
Do you recall, Francis, the survey results from employees when we asked preference? Do you recall that data?
For
which way they were moving to?
the Humana? Oh, by far. But Will's right there, and I know he studied the data way more than I did, but it was a preponderance of that.
So an item not in the previous plan, there is a new item that we're looking at adding to the most current draft of the new plan, and that one has to do with the relief from term of depository contracts. So Texas Education Code requires that depository bank contracts not exceed a 2-year term. And so what this exemption would do is that it would allow our district to extend its contract for an additional 2-year for an additional 2 years, 2 additional 2-year terms, excuse me. And that would actually ensure that, or help with, maybe allowing districts to not experience any disruption in campus and district operations. So we're seeking this exemption. Of course, this exemption would also have campuses or districts, reevaluate kind of its current contract every 2 years to determine, whether or not it's still, beneficial to the district to keep and to continue in that
So
contract.
nobody likes changing things. So what this means is every 6 years, we have to go out for bid on a depository contract. Most districts don't like changing banks, most people don't. Most banks don't like doing business with districts because we pretty much flow millions of dollars through, in and out, and we really don't invest our money into banks, put our money out in investments and pools. And we just went to a bank change. If you don't know, we had BBVA, that was our bank, and they sold, and now we're PNC. So we just went to a bank change, and then what this allows us to do is instead of in 6 years, when our term is up, to go out for bid or stay with the same bank. If we both agree to the same terms, and we like their business, we stay with them. If we don't like their business, we go out for our, we decide when to do bid, not to take something. So that's really what it is. It gives us relief from the Texas Education and Code requiring us to bid out our bank. And so that's what we're going to ask to be approved in the deal.
So as far as the term of this particular intervention plan, it is being designed so that it can be implemented for the 2022, 2023 to 2026, 2027 school years. And so as a DOI committee, we'll continue to review the plan. We'll take a look at how it's supporting the goals of the district and whether or not we even need to look at an amendment of some sort during those particular years. So, are there any questions?
And we would also like to give some credit to Danielle Aliano. She is working on her superintendency cert, and she was instrumental in helping lead some of these previous committees that we had. So I just wanted to make sure she received some credit since she's not here.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Item 10 we'll come back to, except for item 10A, we'll come back to item 10B, nominations for TASB Board Position Region 20D. Position 20D is currently held by Robert Westbrook of Church-Civil Universal City. He has indicated that he will be seeking re-election. The term would be for an additional 3 years, unless anyone has anyone that they know that wants to be nominated. At this time, does anyone have anyone to nominate for the TASB Director 20D?
Do you know him?
Oh, yeah, Robert
Doing a
Westbrook.
good job.
Yes, he's doing
They're all
great.
gonna vote for him anyhow,
Yeah,
so.
well, we'll have an opportunity to support or not support him or any other nominee that comes up. Every district at Region 20 has the opportunity to nominate someone else if they want. And then, once the nominations come in, every district at Region 20 will have an opportunity to support either Robert or anyone else. So at this time, unless anyone has a nomination, okay, no action needed there. Thank you. Item 11, Human Resources, consider approval of school health assessment rubric and evaluation.
So in your book, you received a copy of it. Basically, we are trying very hard to align all of our evaluations with our commitment to growth, commitment to service, and commitment to results. One of the last departments that we had to work on evaluations was the health services or the nurses and the clinic clerks. And so in collaboration together, they looked over some existing evaluations that they had and found that there were some gaps that they would like to fill. So they've come together and created one that aligns with our district commitments, and they would like that approved to be used this year.
I move.
I second.
We have a motion and a second that the board approve the new school health assessment rubric and evaluation. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Just want to let you know those questions are intense. Very intense.
Item 12, Business and Finance. A, consider approval of lighting retrofit at gyms district-wide.
Rojas going to present on updating our elementary gyms, a few gyms, 13 of them, I believe.
Yes, good afternoon again. So through bond construction, we have been able to upgrade most of our campuses. Currently, we have 13 campuses that need retrofit and LED lighting specifically in the gyms. The lighting upgrades will be better coverage for the safety of the students and the staff, and are also considerably more efficient on power usage. The district staff worked with FSG to get a quote for these campuses. FSG has a program that considers CPS rebates for these types of projects and provides the customer with the savings up front. The cost of this project is $73,380, and the cost of this project would be funded from leftover 2012 fund saving funds.
Yeah, we had about $65 that we had invested in bond funds, was this interest, so I have to close up those bank accounts, so that's why I've been trying to find something, this came across, that we could do. There's more savings, it costs more than that to do, but it's actually going to cost us $70,000 for the
Rebates.
So all of this will include all 11 elementaries and McNair and McAuliffe, which are the only gyms that have not been upgraded through construction projects. So our recommendation is that the board approve FSG to replace interior gym lighting at 13 campuses for the contract amount of $73,380.
I move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Can I ask a question? It's not about retrofitting the lights, but at the senior walk, do you remember, Lloyd, that parent that was asking us about improving the sound system somewhere? Where was it? Where was the parent? Where was it was one of the gyms, right?
No, it was the complex.
Okay,
It was the actual complex.
So we're looking into that already? Okay.
That's something I have to bring in. It's probably a fun Valentine, but those are not cheap.
Yeah,
We have it on the agenda for the June round.
we're just gonna talk about it.
We actually have
Awesome.
a meeting tomorrow with electronics.
I don't know who the parent was, but it was during the senior walk.
Speakers used to work very well. I don't know if it wasn't adjusted right.
Or the
Or
weather,
something.
or-
I've been to a football game and a soccer game, and they work fine.
We'll get them out there and see, I mean, I know they play music and stuff, and sometimes they go out.
I think it's some with the
Maybe it's just a matter of not putting a microphone in front of the speakers or something that kept going. Maybe at the senior walk, we need to consider using a different PA system instead of the one there.
We'll study it, we'll see if the system's still good, needs to be
Yeah.
updated, or if it's just,
How we use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
We do have a motion.
Yeah.
We do have a motion and a second. The board approve FSG to replace interior gym lighting at 13 campuses for the contract amount of $73,380. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And on the next item, Mr. Billikens is
Okay.
passing the updated board background. What was lacking was the final evaluation. The district staff and CEC consultants, well, KCI now, work together to prepare on RFCSP for Sun Valley site renovation project. We accepted bids on May 5th, where two bids were received. The bids range from $930,700 to $847,353. District staff and KCI have reviewed and ranked the firm based on the information provided. Through the process, it shows that North Star Elite Construction and Consulting LLC is the best value for the district as a contractor on this project. So the total base bid amount would be for $847,353, and this project will be funded by fund balance. It is our recommendation that the board approve North Star Elite Construction and Consulting LLC for the Sun Valley Elementary School site renovation for a total contract amount of $847,353.
And if time's pending on our field trip, we may go by and show you Sun Valley. I mean, it's almost, it's needed, there's no way we can be waiting on what's happening there with concrete and asphalt. So
operation.
Pretty bad, yeah.
And, really a lot of money, but hopefully this is a great fix. It'll last a long time.
I move.
A second.
We have a motion, a second, that the board approve North Star Elite Construction and Consulting for the Sun Valley Elementary School site renovation for $847,353. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Consider approval of campus library collaborative furniture project.
Yes, sir. As part of ESSER 2 funding, the district will be providing collaborative furniture for all 11 elementaries and 4 middle schools. The new furniture package will provide a flexible grouping furniture to assist with instructional support, social distancing, and ensure safety and student collaboration. District staff issued a package to 3 furniture companies that specialize on K-12 furniture. Indico Sales came as a low bidder on this package, and they're also a member of BIBORD. The district will be using BIBORD cooperative contract with Indico Sales. And behind that, you have the final tabulation on the 3 companies. It was Indico, JR, and Meteor. The furniture will be in the amount not to exceed $472,496, and ESSER 2 funds will be used for this purchase. It is our recommendation that the board approve the campus library collaborative furniture project and purchase the new furniture from Indico Sales at a cost not to exceed $472,400.
I move.
Second.
I got one question. 14 weeks lead time, is that gonna be enough time for us to get it in before next year's school?
So it's gonna be really, really tight. And what I'm hearing is it's gonna get slightly worse throughout the summer.
Same thing happened with Hayden Cove. We did the same thing last year for Hayden Cove, and we didn't get furniture time, but we worked through the campus on the weekend, and they came in, and it's a turnkey, so our guys go in, get the furniture out, and they come in and they assemble and get it ready, so.
And what this company has priced is after hours work as well, and they still came in as the low
So
bidder.
if I was betting, it's not gonna be here by September, obviously. I mean, it's just the market's.
And
We're confident it'll be in a fall semester.
yes, yes, and one of the things too is the libraries are furnished, so it's just a matter of them coming in, swapping, and moving it out, so it's not gonna affect construction at all.
Just a weekend, just a weekend?
Weekend or after hours, whenever they're able
Oh,
to
after
use,
school,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, we have a motion, and a second, that the board approve the campus library collaborative furniture project and purchase the new furniture from Indico Sales at the cost not to exceed $472,496. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay, your one more thing, Lloyd?
Actually, there's 7 more things here.
7 more things.
Okay, and I think you have them in front of you. There's a huge chess prowess going on in Southwest ISD. I just want to commend all the folks that have gotten the chess tournaments underway, and the campuses are playing amongst each other. And just a notation, the winner of the first car at the Southwest High School Senior Walk was a phenomenal student from CASTM. How that works is we have 10 students from each high school, and we infuse 2 students from CASTM into each group. And so Charles he picked the right back. He started the car, and we're excited for him. So it's a very exciting evening. So congratulations to him. And he told me before he left, he'll be driving it to UTSA every day. All we need.
That's awesome.
Too bad we can't give him gas money. Okay, anyone else have one more thing before we go into closed session? Okay, hearing none is permitted by sections 551.001-551.146 of the Texas Government Code. We will not go into closed session. Okay, we'll call this meeting back to order at 8:29. Item 10A, Superintendent's Recommendations of Personnel and Administrative. Employment resignations, reassignments, leaves of absence, and contract renewals.
I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
I second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. That's all I got.
Yes, sir, I know tomorrow, here it is. I know tomorrow we have the Wespies at Southwest High School, which is their end of the year athletic award ceremony. And then Thursday, we have senior walk of Southwest Legacy High School. And then Friday is the graduation from Palo Alto College. I want to let the board know, I have a son graduating from UT. I'll be at UT Friday for his graduation. So Ms. Schaefer is going to be on the Palo Alto stage to see her students come through and their associates or their IBC that evening.
I will be accepting mine too at the same time.
Congratulations.
At UT? Oh. Oh, he switched to He switched to UT.
Yeah, are they graduating
like,
with all the other
yeah.
students at Palo Alto?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Those four, I think 44 students.
Conan, do we have assignments? Or
Which is
do
a
you
really
sign it?
unique thing in high
Yeah,
school,
we
right?
sign it.
You're walking a college commencement stage
is.
before you walk your high school stage, which is
That's an accomplishment, though, and a tremendous money saver for the parents.
yes, and I think we have up to 6 or 9 at Southwest High School will get their AES before August. They just have to finish this.
That's fantastic.
Sir, on June 7th, if everybody can make it at 10, we would like to do the board.
Yeah, it's in our calendar.
Thank you for giving us
We'll have an
advance
activity
notice.
bus, and go see all the projects, end up back at transportation for like 1 hour.
So meet at transportation.
You don't want to meet earlier, like?
Oh, we're gonna
9:30?
meet at
We want to
transportation?
meet at 10 o'clock, if that's okay.
Okay.
And then we know we can be back by 12 o'clock.
Oh, 12 o'clock, okay.
12 to 1, round back.
All right.
Sounds good.
But we're
Okay.
meeting at
12
transportation, you said?
Write that down, 12 to 1, Brownback.
Yes, sir. I hear what you're saying.
Okay, this meeting is now adjourned at 8:31.